And it's like one thing when either me or Schultzy screw up, but when Mike screws up, it's so
embarrassing.
Producer, hit that button. Welcome to the Fantasy Forecast with Grindberg and bigz. I am bigz. He is Grindberg and Schultzy. Where we are so in tune, we even finish each other's
sandwiches.
Nailed it! Yeah. We're here to talk about our sits for the week. We got some doozies for you, and that's what we're here to do. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing?
It's great. I mean, we're heading into week 6, and we know that our rosters are stacked, and we're ready to get some starts in here and some sits. So let's lead our viewers into the weekend. Schultzy, how you doing, buddy?
Fantastic. Hopefully the Cubs win tonight. They're going to give me a sweat, but hopefully they win.
There it is. A little bit of baseball action happening in the background here, folks, if you follow both.
Oh, by the way, Mike, congratulations on the Blue Jays moving on, beating the Yankees, and also happy Thanksgiving, Canada.
Thank you.
Woo!
Woo! Yeah, it's a big weekend here for us Canadians. We have the Blue Jays advancing, and yes, it's our little bit earlier than your Thanksgiving here for us. Gets a bit cooler.
A little bit.
All right, let's get into our sits of the week here, bigz, and let's get you started us off here today.
Well, Murdoch already gave you part of my answer. I'm going to give you the rest of my answer. I'm sitting any Buffalo Bills wide receiver that I have. I'm still not sold on Keon Coleman. I like Khalil Shakir, but this Buffalo wide receiver group is not one where there is a standout one that you can rely on. And this week, they have a pretty tough matchup. They're going up against Atlanta. Atlanta's defense has a negative 0.75 EPA per route run. That means that they shut down wide receivers to the tune of negative points added every time a wide receiver goes out into a route. Over the course of the season, they're ranked number 8 in fantasy points per game allowed to wide receivers. So where I have Khalil Shakir and I'm kind of, counting on him, I'm going to have to play him. But everywhere else that I have an alternative, somebody who has a really good matchup, even somebody who's outside of the top 36 in wide receivers, I'm inserting him instead of Khalil Shakir because I don't know who to count on in the Buffalo wide receiver room, and the matchup is too dirty.
It's a dirty matchup. I agree with you, bigz. And I was looking over my starts and sits, and I was like, I looked at that matchup too, and I was completely avoiding it. So yeah, absolutely on with you on Khalil.
Although I did type in this next one that you have, and then I had to go in and erase it because I didn't see that you put it down too.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're getting a little bit of an upgrade at quarterback, in my opinion, and the Cincinnati Bengals with Joe Flacco there. I mean, it's looking like a little bit more promising for the pass catchers, but for me this week, especially on the ground, I'm avoiding Chase Brown. His fantasy appeal took another hit in week 5. He suffered a brutal loss to the Lions, but despite being the lead back, he's just managed 27 rushing yards on 8 carries. He added 21 yards on 7 receptions, so not a whole lot of opportunity as far as getting downfield here. And I'm not looking at this matchup like being anything better headed into week 6. They face the Green Bay Packers, who have the league's #1 run defense, and Brown's limited efficiency. He hasn't been explosive whatsoever. They haven't been in a whole lot of scoring opportunities either, averaging just a mere 2.5 yards per carry this season. His yards after contact per attempt sits at a career low 2.14, and he's yet to force a missed tackle all season. So all of these things that I look for in a running back, he's just not hitting on. And when you add the matchup, He's going to be a shaky RB2 at best this week, folks. So watch out and stay away from Chase Brown if you can.
Schultzy, do we have a consensus?
Oh, for sure, man. The thing that stinks here is that we've talked about it on the Dynasty Pulse is like it's not a bad call for the season. It's just bad luck. And the thing about Chase Brown is he's not like a just top tier talent player. He's a good player. Don't get me wrong. He's a good player in a great situation. And this offense runs the ball to set up the pass. Like they don't run the ball because they want to be effective on the ground. They're doing it to just try and set up pass plays. And then in return, that threat of the pass opens up some chunk plays for Chase Brown. Without Joe Burrow, it was dead in the water, and that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a show that does not bury Jake Browning. We praise him. So no more slander, no more Jake Browning slander. Mike.
I love that Zach Taylor was like, "Yeah, we have full confidence in Browning still," and then they traded for Flacco.
Yeah, and with Cincinnati, it's not really a problem of the quarterback because look who they've had out there. They had Joe Burrow. They weren't doing very well. He got hurt. They had Jake Browning. He was up and down. Joe Flacco's not going to change this team.
All right, Schultzy, what do you got as your sit here, bud?
First one for me is going to be David Montgomery, and he's coming off a big game this past week against the Bengals, like we just talked about, except on the flip side of the field. And he saw season high 18 carries, but this is a blowout. And the game script just gave the ball to Monty. Let's just give the ball to Monty and get out of here. Like let's get out of here with a win, call it a day. And some of that big day also includes a passing touchdown, right? Like that's fluky fantasy stuff is what it is. So don't put stock into that. Like that 18 carries is not a sustainable number for David Montgomery. Expect him to see back to that 10 to 12 carry number. And this Chiefs defense is very good against the run. We just watched, bottle of Travis Etienne, who that Liam Cohen run game has just been pounding people, and the Chiefs bottled it up, man. And they limited Saquon a little bit on the ground. I mean, he still had a pretty solid day, but like for Saquon standards, they did a solid job, and they've just done a very good job overall on the ground. Now they're 18th in points, fantasy points allowed to running backs, which is a little misleading because, like I said, you did play Saquon. Cam Scatterbo had 6 catches for 61 yards. Justice Hill had a 71-yard garbage time touchdown against the Chiefs. Justice Hill also caught 5 catches. So this is a lot of fantasy points accrued against the Chiefs at the running back position. One through the air, and we had a monster garbage touchdown in Saquon Barkley. So what does that tell me? Well, David Montgomery isn't Saquon Barkley, and he's not a pass catcher. So I don't like this matchup at all. I think it's going to be a rough day for David Montgomery.
Yeah. All right.
Interesting.
Let's get into our spotlights here, guys, that we need to get on our bench this week. And let's start with bigz' spotlight here, Schultzy.
I'm ready for my close-up.
Let's go.
Sit Jalen Waddle. I know that everybody was thinking, oh, Tyreek Hill is out. Jalen Waddle's going to smash. And then Jalen Waddle goes out and has a pretty good game in his first game without Tyreek Hill. We are looking at 23 points, finishing in the top 10 at wide receiver 8. This week, similar to the Buffalo Bills wide receivers, he's got a really, really tough matchup. I have him at 0.168 EPA per play. He's going up against the Chargers, and their defense allows 0.025 EPA per route run. It's an unstoppable force and a moving object. I don't know. However you want to say it. Waddle's, I mean, he's going to be a boomer bust guy. He had one good game. We shouldn't get out over our skis. That's a Canadian term. Don't get over your skis about Waddle's performance, especially when he goes into this game against the Chargers and gets shut down. So, sit Waddle.
Yeah. I mean, bigz, we have not been a big Waddle endorser ever, really, on this show. I don't think any of us really. Schultzy, you're shaking your head too. So we're not optimistic about this. I think this is the biggest beneficiary of this whole situation. Unfortunately for you, Schultzy, is Darren Waller. At this stage of the game,
I'm wrong. I was so wrong.
At least you could take one on the chin. You've been great all year with everything else that you're doing. So, I mean, you're at least human. All right, let's get into Mike's. Okay, so my sit spotlight is going to be DK Metcalf, and he did surprise a lot of us in week 4 when he turned that fade route into an electrifying 80-yard touchdown catch, reminding everybody why he is the Steelers' top target. Despite that highlight, though, his overall numbers through 4 games haven't been all that impressive. He sits outside the top 50 in expected fantasy points per game. His low average depth of target, 5.9, and a modest 20% target share show that Metcalf has been getting the volume or the big play chances you'd expect from a true alpha wide receiver. He has found the end zone 3 games in a row, but he's going to have to rely on that one this week, I think. This is going to be a dogfight between them and the Browns, and the Browns come with a really stout defense, both to the pass and to the run. So I think this is going to be hard knocks football all the way through, and unless DK Metcalf can break another big run catch, I think he's going to be hard pressed here to get some fantasy relevance. So you're going to have to really bet on that. It could happen, but at this stage of the game against Cleveland, I'm just going to bet against him, and I'm going to see if I have safer options on my bench to put in.
Same.
Can't argue with that.
All right, Schulty, let's roll your sit of the week.
Okay, so this one hurts, and I don't like it. And I'm playing this guy in the league I got him because I literally don't have another choice. So I don't feel great about it, but I'm doing it, and it's Justin Fields, man. So he's been electric this year. Like, we don't need to talk about the fantasy explosion we've seen out of this guy. But my big concern here is the matchup. We just saw last week he struggled really hard against a very bad Cowboys defense. They were putting the pressure on this guy. And look, the book on Justin Fields is you get home with a rush, and like, he's cooked. Like, that's been the story on his career. And we watched it this past Sunday in a plus matchup. He struggled for 3 quarters. It was bad. It was brutal. And it's because the rush was getting home. He just couldn't do anything. He took 5 sacks in the game, and he just clawed his way back to a good fantasy performance just in the 4th quarter down big. So if he did that, if that's like the rush got home and that's the product we saw against a bad defense in the Cowboys, I'm terrified of what Justin Fields is going to look like against the Broncos. They lead the league in sacks at 21. Fields has taken 10 in 3.5 games. I know the Cowboys did half that damage, but check this out, man. This year, 36.4 completion percentage for Justin Fields under pressure. So I'm just looking for the Broncos to just say, look, you're going to have to beat us. If you beat us with your legs because you're escaping this pressure, like, so be it. I think they're okay with that because I think they're betting on the fact that the rush is going to get home and he's going to walk himself into sacks for you because that's what he does. So, yeah, dude, this Broncos defense is legit. I don't even see him piling the pad and the stats here in garbage time against them. Like, I think this one's going to get rough.
I need the garbage time stats.
Yeah, I was going to say that would be my only caveat there, Schultzy, is Denver's coming off a great game they played against Philly and got all the momentum. This could be a game where they're way up early and often and, maybe take the foot off the gas pedal in the 3rd or 4th quarter, allowing Fields to go. But, yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough treading for him in the first 3 quarters, and potentially it could open up. But, I wouldn't bet on that at this stage against that Broncos defense.
And like I just said, the Broncos defense is willing to die by him killing him on the ground. I'm willing to die by the garbage time, right? Because one, I'll take the points for myself. Two, that kind of implies I was right, but garbage time. So
yeah. You're going to be going into the fourth quarter probably with 3 points with Fields holding your breath, and he could end up out of it with 30 or with 5. You never know, right?
It's so accurate.
And that was the thing that, like, my preseason call of going with Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Mason Taylor, and Justin Fields. What I didn't account for was the garbage time points. I didn't realize that that's where they were going to be getting their nut, so to speak.
Getting the net. Well, let's give our viewers the net and lead them out of here with what we got going on the Fantasy Sports Advice Network, Biggs. What do you got on the agenda this week?
Hey, stay tuned to this here channel so you can see our starts show. I mean, we're telling you who to sit, but we got some optimism with some other guys, so make sure that you tune in for that. Also, Sunday morning, 8:30 a.m., Breakfast with Biggs, live stream starts and sits special, where I mix a breakfast cocktail for you, and followed up by morning coffee, which is spilled coffee, which is a fantastic show. Also, check out our weekend wrap up waiver wire show next week, and points after Thursday, which we're recording last night, our live stream after Thursday Night Football. And this week it's Giants, Jackson Dart, Cam Scattaboo, and the Philadelphia Eagles. And as I say every week, you may be cool, but you're not Marshawn Lynch bird watching in Central Park wearing Louis Vuitton sunglasses cool.
You could have stopped that sentence after Marshawn Lynch.
It's totally. Yeah. We hope you win, folks, and we'll see you tomorrow for our starts show. Peace out.
Hope you win.
We are here. FantasySportsAdvice.com, offering the best fantasy sports social media platform. Why join endless Discord communities or the trolls of Reddit? Fantasy Sports Advice is a community designed to help you win with 24/7 support. Go to FantasySportsAdvice.com and become a pro member for unlimited access. Again, go to FantasySportsAdvice.com today. We are here. FantasySportsAdvice.com, offering